Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into For the Record. If this is your first time, welcome. This isn't a vinyl finds or anything. This is actually a video regarding a video that the Mr. Jeff Kempin recently posted a few days ago, actually about a week ago, I guess. And it was a drawing for a what looks to be a beautiful Johnny Cash photography book. Um, uh, it just, I was hesitant to do this video just because under the circumstances, and Jeff, I do apologize for everything that's going on. But Jeff is trying to make a bad situation into a good situation. And so his prize, as I said, is a Johnny Cash photography book that's signed by, I guess, some people that were involved with it. And so I believe you had to be a subscriber, and two, you had to do a video response. So I believe, if I remember correctly, the only question was only one question, and I think that was just what was one of your best or favorite Christmas memories. Could be anything. You know, I really don't have one thing, but I just remember as a kid growing up, my parents, we weren't rich by any means, middle class. We weren't brought up rich. I was brought up. I try and instill in my kids and teach my kids the same values I was taught. So my point is, growing up, my parents weren't rich. So when it came to Christmas time, I know they worked extra hard. I know my dad works extra hard. I don't think he worked. I don't feel that he felt that he worked hard enough, but believe me, he did. So Christmas time, Christmas time is for kids, and my parents did what they could, and they did fine. I had no complaints. There were, we had food on the table, we had clothes on our back, and when it came to Christmas, especially, they got things for the kids, and they would buy things for each other. And I know, I don't know if they were suffering or we were suffering, but it was special because every morning, Christmas morning, kids get up and we all went downstairs, and it was, I just remember those memories, and I will never forget that. And nowadays, I raise my kids the same way. You work hard, you play hard. But I'm gonna revert. So that's my story. Okay, it's kind of vague, but it's honest. And I did want to actually want to show you this, and I kind of forgot all about it because I was focused on answering the question. But it's funny that we're doing this video, or I'm doing this video for Johnny Cash, because I'm doing a project right here, and I want to show it's not complete. But as some of you already know, if not, now you do. I make these clocks, and this is one that it is not complete, but I'm working on it, and just funny that it's all about Johnny Cash, and I just want to show that. Again, not complete, but I was having a problem with the clock mechanism, so I had to take it out. So but that is it. And notice the detail up here, the highlights, and I did that so it corresponded with the numbers, so it that kind of matches that. So anyway, when Johnny Cash was refound by Rick Rubin, we actually, I'll back up for a second. We actually we all often think of what would have happened if Jimi Hendrix was still around. What if he didn't die? What if Janis Joplin was still around? What if she didn't die? What would they have done? What would they have accomplished? And you could also say the same thing about Johnny Cash. When his career kind of went I mean, he was up here. He had everything, you know. He was up here. He was on top of the world, and then his career just kind of went down. And he was, you know, and he was making ends meet. I guess he was performing some of these dive bars, you know, and until one day Rick Rubin saw him, knew who he was, and he just couldn't believe that the Johnny Cash was playing in such a shitty bar, and you know, so he, you know, re-signed him, and thank God he did, because he had some, you know, Johnny Cash was huge, and he had some great music, and when Rick Rubin signed him and produced him, and he just, you know, it just shows you that, you know, what would happen if he didn't die? What if Johnny Cash died, we you know, earlier than he did, and he would not have had the career he had when he did pass away. But it's kind of neat to kind of see somebody down in the dumps, and just come back up as somebody who really believed in him, and thank God Rick Rubin did. And it's kind of neat because Johnny Cash was, you know, his career wasn't over. You know, he was just in a slump, and but yeah, I think Johnny Cash made some beautiful music. And if I, you know, I don't consider myself a country fan. I'm more into like the classic rock, you know, the mainstream stuff, mainstream, like, you know, Led Zeppelin and you know, Mountain, and just the class, you know, Black Sabbath, you know, Ozzy and stuff, you know, that kind of, you know, classic rock stuff, or rock and roll. But when it comes to, you know, I don't consider myself a country fan, but I know good music. You know, I know good music when I hear it, and I can't say when exactly I was hooked to Johnny Cash. But if I had one, if I could keep one part of my collection out of all of the country music I have, you know, I would honestly say Johnny Cash. I think Johnny Cash was such a great art. He was an artist. He was a performer. He was just great, and I absolutely love his music. So, you know, pray for me that I get this book. I think it's great, and I can't wait. I think you're going to be doing a drawing, I think, on Tuesday, and wish me luck, Jeff Kempin. Love you. Peace. See you on the flip side.